Yo, so I was inspired to do this video a little bit out of a conversation I had in the parking lot after I closed with some of my coworkers. We were talking about the end of the world, how everything's falling apart, blah blah blah, how we were talking about literally how we don't know if we want to have kids and raise them in this world that's going downhill so fast. Um, uh, Obviously, I am not the biggest fan of our current president, Donald Trump, and for many reasons that I've explained in the past, he's not doing any good for the country. Um, so, this conversation spawned into like your levels of awareness. Eventually, it's like white, yellow, orange, red, and red's being like you're always on high alert. You're always white is you're always just in your own head, doing whatever you want, ignoring, not seeing anything as a threat. I'm always in red. That's just who I am. And my coworkers were both like, "Oh, we're totally whites," and so they just would let things pass by them. Like I would notice and be like, "That's sketchy," right away. So then I wanted to bring it to this and say, people right now, everybody who's not being politically active or who's supporting Donald Trump's probably in the white right now because they don't understand the consequences his actions are having right now. He went on another Twitter rant this morning that was literally just throwing shade at TV show hosts. Like who does that when you're president? What's the why are you going on and calling people who are on television who've been in the business for years crazy? And it's just people are unaware that this guy's what is he doing? What is it? If I could go up to a Trump supporter and say, "What name the three best things you think he's done?" and they'd say something like, "Oh, I like the travel ban." Like, okay, yeah, that was shut down by the Supreme Court. Not the Supreme Court. That was shut down by the courts. Like people aren't aware of what's actually going on. And I've been staying away from politics pretty well. Um, it's not easy to do for me because I see all the crap, and it's finally gotten to the point that I'm able to stay out of it because I'm tired of it. It's not going anywhere. It's not a productive discussion anymore. And there's no need to talk to anybody who's supporting Trump and believes he's been doing a good job because they're a little deranged. I try not to call people crazy or racist or sheep, drones, whatever, because people get offended immediately. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm a snowflake, right? So it just is really, really frustrating when you understand what's going on. Like, I follow the business world really well, as much as I can with all the stuff that I'm doing. I work two jobs. I have my own company that I'm running. I'm the owner. I do these occasionally. I've been making music. I'm not trying to brag. I'm saying I do stuff and I can still keep up. Most people are maybe working one job full time and going to school and they're learning and they're somewhat aware. They know what they're doing. But then there's the people who shouldn't have an excuse that aren't keeping up with these things and they're just cool with letting them fly over their heads. Because honestly, this is literally going to shit. One of the biggest examples I can use for it's going to shit is by 2100, the first 10 feet roughly of the coastline from Florida, Louisiana, all the way up like to New York. Obviously not everywhere along the first 10 feet of the coastline, but that first 10 feet, will be flooded because of climate change. And people don't listen to that seriously. If we do stuff about it, we can reduce that. But we're already at the point right now where it's we're not gonna come back from that, and people don't understand that. It's they're not they don't I don't it doesn't I don't get it. I can't even make any sense right now because it doesn't make any sense how people can look right past that and not make any changes in their life to try and combat that or try and advocate for it. They'll maybe make like a Facebook post, but like you can go and talk to your senator. There's a group of disabled people sitting in Cory Gardner's office right now until he votes no on Trump care because it's going to take healthcare away from 22 to 23 million Americans. And Trump supporters are A-okay with that. That it's going to take it away from them. They're saying, oh, well, that's probably just all people who didn't want to pay for insurance anyway because they're safe people, blah, blah. Like, no, people are getting their plans taken away from them. Obamacare is not perfect. There's flaws with it. Some people have to pay higher because they actually have an income. These disabled people don't have a steady income, might not have a job because of the conditions they have, and you want to just take their health care away from them, the thing they need to live? What the fuck is that? And you either know that and you're advocating for it, or you know it, you're not advocating for it because you're lazy as fuck, or you know it or you don't know it at all because you're even lazier than those middle people and you're not even trying to make a difference, as little as it might be. I don't know. This is just a giant rant. This is what these are basically turning into for me now, because why not rant? Get all my feelings out there. People don't understand these things, and it's really, really frustrating. That's all it is. I don't understand it. I might never understand it because I actually give a shit about this world and know it's our only world. Elon Musk keeps talking about having us fucking move to Mars, and he's a super fucking genius. I will give him that. But it's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's a major work in progress if we were gonna move to Mars. It's totally theoretical, too. But it could, just be more aware. Jesus Christ, people. Honestly, that's all I have to say. I could keep ranting, but I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see what that one. I have no idea what I want to talk about. I just had to get all this off my chest today because people are not being aware of their surroundings and what's going on in the world, and it's really pissing me off at this point. Okay? Peace out.